Now to our next Sunday special. It appears that trafficking of young girls for sex work is becoming more entrenched as victims struggle to escape the snare of traffickers or get help from authorities. And one of such is the story of Joy, who got trafficked from Lagos through Kano to Libya, and how the quest to get justice for her by her brother metamorphosed into more discoveries about the trafficking syndicate in a remote Ghanaian village. In the second part of her investigative report, senior correspondent Sharon Jason tells the story of a girl named Favor who was trafficked from Delta State in Nigeria to Ghana at the age of 14.
Hello, blessing. And they go on my remind this video go. Ask me ye me go yo. Ask me ye me go. What's the my reply remind the neighbor. Egom for the neke mapu. Imale go ne for the negom ke mapu. So I know what the ego can by next month, November, December. First week of December, he sent ke go back and naka. Because some day name the ego. Never asine. Where we me anya kwame. And in where got throw all your buffet got throw your bunny. I'm gonna make a choy you got chum or for new block I see. And the gum agreement is agreement, go move when die pin can never remove from that money. So keep pulling no be.
Trafficking of young girls for sex work in foreign countries has become rampant and a menace to the society. While working to uncover activities of traffickers and how they use Kano in northwest Nigeria as a route for human trafficking, I observed that syndicate from other West African countries use the same route for the purpose. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, and the Nigerian Immigration Services are intensifying efforts to curtail the scourge, but the challenges the agency encounter in performing that task are enormous. Hence, the call for a law that will empower the Nigerian Immigration Service to prosecute human trafficking offenders.
The problem is that we are yet to set. The power of attorney has been given. We are yet to set the immigration legal framework that will administer this process, which will be an alternative to the civil court. So I think it will be unrealistic if we cannot use that chance given to us in the Immigration Act, of which we have the lawyers in the immigration.
Those who are suffering, who are doing things that they didn't plan to go there, who are being forced into prostitution, into carrying drugs, into hard labors.
I met with Favor, who was trafficked to Ghana at the age of 14. She was impregnated and repatriated to Nigeria by the International Organization of Migration, IOM, at 16 and became a mother at 17. Her story is that of a bright, brave child whose determination gave her the opportunity to escape from the traffickers' den, where she was coerced into selling her body for a living by her mistress, simply known as Mama G.
She told us everything. She separated us from each other. She sent the other two girls to where they'll be working. So I stayed with her for a month before she told me that she can't be feeding me every day with her own money. So I have to do what brought me to Ghana. So like I was pleading with her when she told me that I'm not coming to school anywhere, that is prostitution, and I'm going to work and pay her the amount of 150,000 before I can work and gain my own money. So I was pleading with her, but she refused. I have no other option because that place is bush. Before we get to the main road side, it's very hard and difficult for us. So I had no other option than to do it. The day I work, I give her the money. If she likes, she'll give me the one that I'll use and eat. Sometimes she don't give.
Armed with this information, I decided to embark on the journey to Banda Kwanta in the northern part of Ghana. It was a very long and scary journey, but motivated by curiosity to have a fair idea of what it takes to be trafficked, I embarked on this journey. Traveling to Ghana by air was smooth, but using a Nigerian credit or debit card to move around the West African country was difficult. This is despite the fact that there are many Nigerian banks operating in the country and it is a member of the Economic Community of West African States ECOWAS. I risked it all by using the available dollars with me to connect to a flight to Tamale in the northern part of Ghana. What seems like 1 hour trip would have taken about 9 hours by road. I began to ponder on how many days it would have taken the traffickers to smuggle the girls into the country by road. From Tamale, I boarded a vehicle to Banda Kwanta. It was like a journey of no return as we spent more than 5 hours on the road from Tamale with the help of a map of Ghana. The driver grew weary during the trip. Apart from the mining of gold, the small community is notorious as a place where trafficked Nigerian girls sell their body for money, which many say the police and residents turned blind eyes to.
If the police people, like the immigration people, are coming over to that place, because they normally deport people if they catch them. So they work with the police. If the immigration people are coming, they will go and pay the police people, then they will pack everybody inside the cell as if they arrested us. So if they go, they'll bring us out and take their money. That was how it continued.
I got to the shanty part of the town through the back route, and just as Favor described a trafficker, I could identify Mama G almost immediately. Her voice in the audio clip earlier gave her out.
I have girls that I would like to bring that are willing to come. So I wanted to know what the details will be, what is in it for you, what is in it for me, and everybody will be happy. And how it will be seamless, that there will be no too much talk. Yes, yeah. Libya first, I've been through the business, but I'm a Nigerian. But I have many Nigerian guests. Like, if you follow this road down, there is a lady called Smart. Okay? A lady called Smart, about, let me say, 5 madams or 6 madams are dead. Maybe you can go to them too.
After posing to her like a trafficker, she admitted that she was into the business.
Me, I'm not asking. Since I know your guy, not I want no other people to connect me. Me, one is one. I don't need to. So if you say go to madams, 5 different madams, how many people I won't go? How many people I won't go meet for them? The one saying that I work. You have done it before, not that I didn't do it before. But immediately I married, I stopped.
Mama G directed me to another woman who she alleged is more into the business. The woman gave me audience and told me some secrets, but was not sure if I was genuine. Here in Banda Kwanta, Ghana, here is the place that Favor described for us as the place where she was trafficked to, all the way from Delta State, Nigeria. From observations here, we have more than 1,000 Nigerian girls here operating and used as sex slaves. Many of them wish to come back, and many others are enjoying what they're doing because of this current situation in the country. Here in Banda Kwanta, Ghana, it was observed that many of these girls use drugs to be able to perform up to expectations.
But me that will bring them.
Okay, then I'll manage them.
Yes.
I'll help you do that. I don't have problem. Because that one I charge 20 million per dog. Take care of them. That's 2,000.
20 million per year.
Yes, 2,000.
For how long?
Depends. They are nice. I don't know. Sometimes.
good ones can take them 4 months. Some take 5 months, some take a year, some take 7.
It was an encounter that brought me face to face with the realities of trafficked girls, though the women claimed that some of the girls willingly came to the spot to hustle.
Like me, I do daily contribution. Even my buy here, I do daily contribution. So many people, some of who are madams, girls who come from over here, there are people who just come on their own. You understand?
There was little or nothing I could do on the spot to salvage the situation, as I was just a journalist striving to tell the sad stories of the trafficked girls. As I returned to Nigeria after several sleepless nights, I wonder what it would take to eradicate the growing trend of human trafficking. Advocates of the fight against irregular migration highlights how unsuspecting youth become the biggest victims.
So we advise our community, our youths, and whoever that is traveling for a greener pasture, unauthorized, should not do so because there is high risks. You cannot travel to uncertainty area where there is no security. And if you go there in the overseas, if you don't have entry permit, you don't have working permit, you are at a very high risk. They dehumanize you, number one, and then they will give you very low pay at the expense of your skill. You may have a very high skill. They will use you and give you low pay because you are unauthorized. And at the end of it, you end up not achieving what you want. So it is better for you to remain in your country, contribute to your community, and it's safer to be here. And if at all there is the need for you to even travel to overseas, then you have to go as an authorized traveler. So it affects our community seriously. And it encourages insecurity because most of the people that travel and come back, you find that they are creating problems. Inciting the boys, polluting their mind, going into unnecessary illegal activities. So they are not helping the community at all. Yes, I met with one girl that she went to overseas. When reaching there, in fact, she was even encouraged to travel alone. That somebody is there at the airport to receive her. Took her to where she would stay. Immediately he entered, he collected her passport. He said, "Look, you are not here for any work. You are here to prostitute." Then he called some other men, including himself. They raped her there. And that if she messes up, this is her passport. They will either kill her or they will call authority to deport her immediately. So she has to do prostitution to recover their money before they will allow her to go back to her own country. So the girl was telling me her experience.
While poverty is one of the biggest drivers of human trafficking, the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria is pegged at 20 million by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. Favor, who is now 17 years old, is desperate to go back to school. Despite the setback, she hopes to become a lawyer someday. She recalls that her mother knew she was giving her away to be trafficked, according to Favor. Mama G and her mother deceived her into believing that the purpose of her travel was to continue a secondary school education in Ghana.
Yes, I want to go back to school. I want to become something in the future. Something that will make me feel happy every day. And not what to make me think of my past.
While the United Nations develops policy to help countries attain the Sustainable Development Goal on Education (SDG 4), Favor hopes to get assistance to return to school. Advocates hope that Kano trafficking routes will be checked, while those seeking greener pastures will carefully consider their choice, while the girls trafficked to Ghana, Libya and other parts of the world struggle to pay their traffickers to become free or escape from their dens. Getting help from the Nigerian government or international community seems hopeless. Sharon Ijason, TVC News.
Into the murky waters of child prostitution, there talk about compelling stories that need to be told, requiring more galvanized action to end the menace.